no problemo.
All right, so we're gonna go to the mini map here, or the map rather, and just watch the splits here.
Looks like we are going to see Swiftness go out on both teams. Pretty normal thing to do there. I'm not going to really see any other buffs being thrown out, though. Actually, no. Cancel that. There is going to be 4 stacks of might being thrown out on Team Legends. They're going to get a bit of an advantage in that regard at the start of this fight here, but let's take a look at the splits.
Looks like you've seen most people head towards mid.
Yeah.
You see
It's a lot of going around the back here we're seeing as well. I actually think that Team Booty Bakery is going to be, or sorry, Team Legends is going to be taking down their boss there as well. So we've seen them do that before, and it looks like they're going to stick to that strategy for this tournament as well.
It is an interesting choice for them to take out the boss before the game starts, or before they get to the mid part. Actually, Hemo does go down here, so that's going to stop them a little bit longer. The problem is that they delay getting to mid, and they potentially leave Lily to getting open to getting ganked.
Yeah.
He does have Shan here supporting him right now. Quite the bunker Ellie as well, throwing out a lot of heals and keeping Lily out, but definitely a risk going for that boss off the bat.
Yeah, especially with him, he's not really running what would be considered, in my opinion, more of a selfish build for Guardians, because there's 2 builds that I see a lot of Guardians. There's selfless builds, which are builds like we're seeing here on Lily, where they have a lot of team support, a lot of AoE cleansing, but they can also support themselves pretty well. But there's also the selfish ones now, where they generally just worry about themselves. I think for this map, they would have been better going with that selfish build, but it seems to be working out for them pretty good, however, though.
Yeah, it looks like Yummy actually sees Well going down. They did throw the Sank down, but they actually didn't get down quite, or they threw it down too early, rather, before Well actually went down. You'll see on NA, or actually pretty much in any region, that most of the time you'll see the teams go for the Necromancer, just because they don't really like they lack the disengage, rather, to get out of the fights, and they're a really easy target to take out right away.
And an interesting choice that they chose to res him with the Illusion of Life. It seemed that they had a secure res on him, so I don't know if that was just a miscalculation on their part, choosing to res with that, but...
Oh, actually, that was actually an interesting choice. Shan was actually going in for the res, but he actually, they banished Well's corpse away from Shan's stomp, and actually prevented him from getting stomped. They actually got the res up off on him as well.
Very good. And it looks like Red Team's going to take the first middle fight here.
Well, it's definitely being contested. Looks like they actually had Shan and Lily actually move out of the point here, and they got him back up, and then back on point here again. Shan actually does go down on point. Lily is still up, but I think you might be right. I think we will be seeing this go into the Reds' favor, just because they do have one of the bunkers down. Yeah, it looks like Lily's going to be disengaging, probably trying to push over to Henge and try to keep that neutered as long as possible. They do have it neutered right now.
Yep.
It's been Folly versus Madman Heba.
Yeah.
Playing that pop gun build. Pop gun Armada.
The Pop Gun Championships occurred yesterday, for those of you that missed it. but yeah, we are going to see Legend come in here as well as more reinforcements from Team Absolute Legends. It's going to be, we got to see here now if Red Team's going to be able to hold off now with the extra support coming in from Team Legends. It seems though they won't be able to, though, as Chubbs is going to go down here.
And Chubbs did have a ton of conditions on him when he went into misform, and they unfortunately were not able to get him back up after he went down in that misform.
Move over to mine here. We actually did just have the Night just actually decap that. There was no one from Blue Team available to recap that, so nice job in Red Team getting that out.
Actually, it looks like we might be seeing Hemo coming in, trying to maybe gank out Knight. We'll have to see how he plays this one out.
Be pretty careful with it.
Actually, maybe Hemo's not going to go in. He's waiting.
Oh, disconnect.
Oh, disconnect. Lovely. Well played, Hemo. Going in for the gank, decides, actually, I think I'd rather disconnect here. Sound strategic choice.
Well, all right. Meanwhile, though, looks like Blue Team is going to be converging onto Keep right now. We're seeing about 2 members moving in now, and we're going to have the Mesmer coming about 10 to 15 seconds later here.
A pretty nice play over here by Folly. Chubbs actually went for the Churning Earth Lightning Flash, but Folly was actually able to dodge it there. Churning Earth does a ton of damage if he's able to land that, and Folly did a pretty good job of missing that. But unfortunately, he's going to go down anyways on point here. Actually, he does get rezzed up by his Spirit. Yeah. Nice play by Folly.
It seems, what? Hiba with an Elixir X. I have never, ever in my entire Guild Wars career ever seen an Elixir X used in competitive play. Hiba is an innovator nonetheless. And oh my god, we couldn't see the utility port, but we couldn't focus on this. But look at Hiba. He's using an Elixir gun defense build. That does, I need to look at his build now. Go ahead, Grouch.
Well, he actually did switch over to the Cleric's Amulet, which makes sense. You mentioned before that the rifle was not that great of a bunker weapon. Well, actually, it's really great for decapping, though, because it does have the immob on the 2, and it has the knockback on the 4, which is actually really great for getting people off point.
But look at, I mean, I used to run this build. I mean, I run it with Sword Shield, but this build is amazing at staying alive. Just look at how much damage he's taken here from that. He does go down now, but the amount of damage and the time he was able to hold himself off there is just incredible in itself. He is going to go down, unfortunately, but this is definitely a new build, some new form of meta that we're seeing here. A bit of a throwback to some of the stuff back in, like, September and October, even. But very interesting to see that coming up.
Moving back over to mid here, they actually got a Moa off on Lily. He actually went down in that Moa. This looks like SubQT actually got the res up on him with the Illusion of Life. He did go down, and it looks like Shen's going to get back up here as well, but they did get SubQT down in the process. They're going to have to get him resed up here right now. Actually, looks like they've completely reset the fight. Hamodi is back over here on mine as well. He's coming back in. He actually looks like he did reconnect to the game. They're going to take out Chubbs here, no problem.
SubQT actually just poured it back up to the point. A nice jump with that blink there. He does get on the point and get a bit of decap progress going. Doesn't actually manage to get the full thing off, but he did get a nice little sneak blink in there.
It looks like they're going to be... They should be focusing well here again. Looks like they're going to go in for the damage on him. Cutie does go down here again one more time. Looks like they're getting pretty good damage down on the corpse as well. And actually looks like they're going to stomp him out. Possibly. Oh, actually, Lily goes down here well. So I think that's actually going to be GG for this fight specifically for AL.
And over there, Folly actually just managed to take out Chubbs there, so Folly is going to retain control over the mine for now. So a nice job holding that against his aggressors over there. And now we got to open up the map and see where the fight turns to now, as Red Team has taken full control of middle.
Yeah, with the DC, it looks like Yummy was actually able to take a pretty good advantage here. They have about an 80-point lead right now on AL, and they actually have a 2-cap advantage as well over over AL's 1-cap.
Legend is moving into Henge right now, but Red Team Yummy again. AL was sort of spread out a lot, and it seemed that Booty Bakery was able to really ascertain their positions and was able to keep themselves in the know there. Unfortunately, because AL was split up, they couldn't really surprise much. So Booty Bakery is in a pretty good spot to defend this right now. But they are actually on the losing end of this fight.
Well, the interesting thing with AL being on these side points, especially with the bunker and the the 2 bunkers rather, and then 1 DPS, is they have so much sustain, especially from Lily and from Shan. Shan's healing, obviously, from that Cleric's Amulet is going to be huge in these fights, especially on the small fights on side nodes.
Yeah, and Shan, it just seemed to work well with them, actually, because they're going to knock out Knight. Knight will not be able to pull it out of there. They're going to take him out. Chubbs is going to come in here and try to res, but it's too late for him, unfortunately. Cutie, with that damage being thrown on him, they're not going to get that res off. And I think they're going to leave Cutie on this point, actually. Interesting choice. Because I believe that Shan, is actually a bunker Ellie, so I would have left Shan there personally, but I guess choosing to leave Cutie there was also a pretty good choice.
So in spite of the DC, looks like AL is actually able to secure 2 caps here. Yummy's still got the mid cap here, and it looks like they're actually AL's not going to be contesting that anytime soon. We do see AL going for the they do get the boss kill over here, no problem as well. Let's head back over to mine here. Looks like we have Folly versus Heba on point. We have Chubbs and Shan coming in as well. Again, remember here we have 2 bunkers for AL. We have Folly playing a BM Ranger, and then Shan playing the very bunker Ellie with the Cleric's Amulet. Chubbs a little bit more DPS orientated, and Heba's going to be very good at debunking on these points.
Yeah. Now we are actually going to see over here at Henge Lily, interestingly enough, moving in here. Guardian moving in on the far over to his close point to defend against the Knight here. An interesting choice moving Lily there instead of having him on the where the bulk of the fight is. What do you think about this?
That's pretty interesting strategy, to be honest. And actually, if you take a look over here at mid, they have Morpheus coming in versus... actually, he was on point, and they have SubQT and Hamodi were over here trying to take out Morpheus. They actually portal out, it looks like. Yummy and... Well, and... Looks like Chubb's coming in to try to support him, but they actually already portaled out. Let's take a look where Cutie went. He looks like he's back over here at Henge.
Now, Morpheus is actually surprisingly running a very offensive build for a Guardian that we would normally see. He's actually running Greatsword. I didn't manage to pick up that before on pregame, but he actually is dealing a lot of damage to the blue team, and he's managing his cooldowns very well and is able to keep himself alive. So a very interesting choice in the builds there.
Well, if you're able to support the Guardian, and like if he goes down and you're able to get a res off on him or something like that because he's a little bit squishier than usual, having that extra damage from the Guardian is going to be huge in these team fights, especially with the Greatsword, just because it has so much strong AoE potential. Yeah,
Greatsword does a huge amount of damage compared to a lot of other the AoE melee weapons. So it's really crucial if you can manage to pull off that team support and use it good, which it seems that they are. It seems that Booty Bakery is using pretty good here. Actually, it seems that AL has taken the lead though. Interestingly, pretty nice job by them coming back here despite having that little disconnect there.
Alright, looks like over here on mine, we actually have, looks like it was Heba versus Shan and Folly, and he actually went down, but it actually looks like Knight was able to come in just in time to give him the Illusion of Life, so Heba's going to try to go down here on point and hopefully get a res off from Knight. Actually, you can see Elixir R down as well. Should be able to get the res up, gets the res up, no problem, so it's actually a pretty clutch play coming from Knight coming in, getting that res off on Heba, and then getting the final res when he goes down from the Illusion of Life. Need to warm my vocals.
Me too, dude. But Yummy is going to pull out of mine here. I actually think they're switching priorities. It looks like Heba, as well as the Necromancer from Team Yummy, are going to be moving over to Henge here now, actually. They are being chased by Shan at the moment, so more than likely there will not be a decap, and Heba is probably going to redirect his priorities here. But actually, no, it seems he's still moving to Henge. Interesting choice, but... Over on mid, though, we do have another team fight erupting, and it seems Red Team has actually managed complete control over that again. So nice job there by Team Booty Bakery, really having nice control over this map and over Team Legend. And it looks like we're seeing Sup Cutie as well as two other members fall back here to defend the Henge. Team Absolute Legend is currently up in this set. They're at 430 points. And we are going to see them. Looks like they're more likely going to defend this point successfully here. Over here on the mine, we do have Chubbs and Knight taking on Folly here, so they may manage to get that off. Folly, however, has been holding up pretty resiliently here.
It actually looks like we see Hemo in the background there, but it looks like he's going to opt to go back over to mid, actually, instead of helping out Folly. It looks like they're pretty confident in his abilities to hold off two players at once.
Yeah.
And over here on Henge, we actually did have Hebo go down to Shan and Subcutie.
It seems that Absolute Legend is going to take this first round. A nice defense there, a nice change up in the strategy, and a very good defense by them. So congrats, Absolute Legends.
Yeah, it was interesting. It looks like we actually did have Hamodi. He changed his characters mid-game here. We don't really have necessarily a rule against that. It's something that we have... again, this is a new tournament, so we don't really have a lot of experience, I guess. And we weren't able to change the rules, especially because we wanted to match the rules with the EU tournament versus the NA tournament. So there should be a lot of specific rule changes coming in for when we do these future tournaments.
Yep. And it seems though that nice job by Absolute Legends. They're going to take the first round, and we'll be moving on now to Legacy of the Fofire. Checking in on that straw poll though from before though, if you want to take a look. I think all the votes have ceased on that. Do you want to take a look at that real quick?
Yeah, we could do that.
It looks like sitting on a couch.
Yeah,
versus
pretty.
JBUO.
Bring the overlay up here one more time. Yeah, like pretty. 363 votes for that, and it looks like we got 62% for Sitting on a Couch versus Jesus Beat Us Once. So we will be seeing their games right after these ones.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be
Thanks
great to see that.
for the votes, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess. Jump back in the game.
But yeah. Oh, that dead space. How do you think teams are going to adjust their strategy to this map? Looking at that last match there.
Well, it's interesting. I think a team fight comp on this map is very strong, so we could see a lot of that come out. I think that Legends team play is very strong on side points, which is actually still a very viable strat on this map. But a lot of people do focus on the mid fight here on Graveyard. It is a really good point to have on this map, just because it is pretty equidistant between the 2 points, and you kind of can control the map if you have that point.
Yeah. So I actually would like to say though, I'm pretty sure that we are going to see Yummy come out on top here, at least for the start of this match. Because from what I've been told by a lot of players, and this is sort of my opinion as well, the first 300 points of this match, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, is really tied down to who wins that first Graveyard fight. Because from there, you essentially have a staging point to both of the side points. And if you're able to gain initial control of that, you have really good control. And as long as you expend your resources very well, you can really keep pretty dominant control over the map for at least like we're going to see 4 to 5 minutes of dominant control of whoever takes that first team fight. But keep in mind though, that team fight can rage on for about like 5 to 10 minutes, as we've seen it sometimes. So I've seen matches where the mid never gets captured because it just stalemates for the entire match. But the mid is, in my opinion, very crucial to whoever starts, at least for the beginning of it, at least for early game, comes out on top. So I do think that we're going to see Yummy come out on top here at the start of this match. But as we move on, we may see Team Absolute Legends come back here because of their superior side point capping. But it is going to be a little bit harder to cap side points on this map because they're not in a triangular pattern as we see in the first map. They're actually like directly across the map from each other, so it's going to be a lot harder to side cap, unlike we saw on the last map.
All right, as soon as we get these players ready up here, we will get rolling on the second map here. So I guess I should update the overlay here just for one moment.
All right.
If I can figure it out. Dipping hardcore. There we go.
Got it?
Got it. Nailed it, actually, in fact.
So are we ready to move on here?
We are. As soon as these teams ready up, we'll get rolling. So we have decided, apparently it was just a DC that we saw last round from
Absolute Legends.
From Absolute Legends with Hamodi switching the characters there. We will not be allowing that going forward. It's just, unfortunately, we don't have we haven't considered a lot of these things. We haven't thought of them before, and we just haven't made the rules for it. So going forward, that will be enforced, I suppose, and we'll just continue to improve the rules as we go on, obviously.
All right. Well, with that in mind, let's move on to the next game. Soon both teams are ready.
Gotta wait for him, man.
Death to Defy Cutie. What you doing, guys?
All right, we did take a poll here of the. Let's take a look at this poll right quick. All right, so this is for the poll for the Absolute Legends versus Booty Bakery. Who's taking the win? We actually have about 63% votes for Absolute Legends. So Booty Bakery definitely not in the not the crowd favorite. I know there's a lot of people out there who think that Booty Bakery can dethrone Absolute Legends from their position right now. You know, they did win the tournament last weekend, the MMORPG tournament that we kind of co-casted last weekend. So you know, it's not necessarily a long winning streak, but I guess they would like to see them dethroned already.
For the time being, they have the throne. It's been a short win.
For the time being.
Think of them as like they're the cooks and they want to poison the. That was terrible. Never mind, we're not making that joke. But
okay, thank you. Thank you for sparing us.
I did up bad jokes last week. We're not doing this again. As soon as I think Cutie ready's up, we're gonna get ready to go here. Once again, a lot of different strategies that come into play here. We did see Absolute Legends exercise superior side point control, so we may see them shine late game, but in my opinion, assuming that Team Booty Bakery, our red team on this map, had superior control of the midpoint most of the time last map, I think they're going to come out on top, at least for the first 4 to 5 minutes here, but it's going to be interesting to see how it goes anyway.
All right, go into the map to watch the splits. See where we go. Again, they could be going all in on Graveyard, or they could be going for side points.
We actually do have, sorry to interrupt, we do have 25 stacks of might being thrown out on Team Legend, so that's going to allow them to do a lot of extra damage here on the initial team fight. But opening up.
It looks like a lot of people going home point, trying to cover their own home points to make sure that they don't lose it right off the bat. It looks like we do see Hemo and Subcutie coming in over here to Quarry, possibly going in for the engagement. It looks like they're going to opt to go back into mid and support Lily on that point.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to jump in here. Not the most successful gank out of that. They did do a little bit of damage to Chubbs, but Chubbs, I think, actually saw that coming, so there wasn't really a contention there. Both teams are going to acquire their side points now, and we are going to engage the mid-fight.
Kind of a stalemate at the moment here, just kind of throwing some damage up, probably getting targets lined up at the moment here.
It seems that Team Booty Bakery does have the superior control at the moment. They're doing a lot of damage to Lily for the time being, as they do generally have that formation down pat. Legend's a bit split up right now in this team fight, so they're not going to really be in a superior position as they should be. But we could see a turnaround anyway. We are seeing actually a lot of conditions go out to red team, as we are actually on blue team as well. So it's actually right now really anyone's team fight. It's really not in
it looks like Ale's opting to try to train down well here, which actually, like we mentioned before, is not a bad idea. He's going to be very squishy. Doesn't have a lot of disengage, and if they take him down, he's going to get a lot of team support. He's just going to get stumped out fairly easily here. It's pretty easy to avoid the Necromancer stomp with the Guardian stability.
Well went down to less than 100 health, and he almost managed to stay alive there. He did go down, but with knockbacks, and they are going to get him up. Nice job there by Team Booty Bakery, managing to res him. And Elixir S, I believe, was used to res him up there, so they are going to use that. And
yeah, it looks like they actually did toss a Moa out of here on Morpheus X. They actually didn't take advantage of it though. They weren't able to do a lot of damage to him. Looks like Folly's actually getting pretty low here as well. His pet did actually passively claim those condies off of him here. He's gonna try to escape out of the point, but I'm not sure he's gonna be able to get out. He actually is getting a lot of healing. Looks like he actually gets a lot of condies thrown on him one more time. Doing a really good job from AL from actually staying alive here though.
You got to remember with Folly is that he has a permanent passive regen of, I believe, let me see what it is right now. 113 heals every second is what he's getting. So that's a lot of health he's going to be getting back. And in general, it's really helping him stay alive and really just get in the way for Team Booty Bakery here and allow his pet to do a lot of damage.
Looks like Ale switched the focus over here to Heba. He actually popped the Elixir S, but they were able to gank him immediately as he came out of it here. Looks like they were able to get the res off on him, no problem though. Chubbs actually goes down here in the process as well. So with Heba being so low right now, they're going to have a really hard time getting him back up here.
Yep, Death to Defy is also down. Chubbs has used his misform, and Folly is going to stomp him with no issues. So it looks as though that Team Booty Bakery is going to be down for this first team fight. They need to reinforce now, or Team Absolute Legend is going to take this. We actually may see Reds come off here by Team Booty Bakery. Yes, they did manage to get Death to Defy up. Nice job. Excellent job by Team Booty Bakery getting him up, despite those odds against them. And this fight in mid is still stalemate. We did actually just have a Ninja Cap come over here on the Quarry Legend Hemo. Just managed to decap that there, so nice job sneaking that in there. As we saw before, we were saying this before, Absolute Legends really are a lot better at these decaps and these side caps, so they're already exercising that there. And they're going to get a bit of an advantage now, and it seems they're at the advantage now with kills as well, so they're going to have a slight lead for the time being. And go ahead.
Yo. No, I'm just checking out the map here, man. Just everything looking pretty good so far. The game's actually pretty close at the moment here. We still have one cap for each team right now. Midpoint is actually still decapped, doing a pretty good job of fighting over. Lily actually did go down here in the process. He actually gets rezzed up fairly easily though. Heba for Yummy's actually getting trained down pretty hard here as well.
Yeah, and it looks. And again, like I said this before, this mid fight can really stalemate for like possibly the entire game. It really, looking at the health pools of both teams, it really could be anyone's team fight right now. There's no one that has a superior advantage. It is shifting now to the side points again. We do have a bit of a skirmish going on. Quarry Hemo is actually pulling out of there now, so that's going to be canceled out. But again, stalemated mid fight. In my opinion, this is actually probably going to go on for the next like at least 2 to 3 minutes here. Lily is going to go down there and he will get up with the illusion of life. They're keeping him alive, but they need to kill someone on the blue team in order to keep Lily, or kill someone on the red team rather, in order to keep Lily alive in this.
Looks like Heba went down here again. They actually do have the stability stomp on him, going to get him out no problem. One thing that we noticed here that we saw a lot last weekend is just SubQtie's amazing disengages. He was able to, when he got really low there, he was actually able to blink up to the ledge up there and pretty much just out of reach of Yummy. And because he was able to disengage from that fight, he was actually able to get that illusion of life off on Lily, and which really swung the fight in their favor.
And interestingly enough, actually, it seems both teams are really prioritizing. I'm actually seeing a flip on what we had 5 minutes or a couple minutes back. Actually, it seems that all points are not decapped. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Both teams aren't really prioritizing stomps. What do you think about that? They're going for a lot of reses, but there's not a lot of stomp action going on. What do you think's up behind with that?
Well, I think that AL, because of their team comp, is going to have a hard time getting the damage down on the enemy team to prevent the reses from the enemy team, just because, like, again, their comp is so attrition based. They have so many tanky classes, and they don't do a lot of damage aside from SubQtie's, obviously his burst that he can do. They also have a lot of damage coming from Hemo as well, but he needs to be in the right position to be able to get to land that damage. We did see, my goodness, we did see Well and Folly go at it over here on Waterfall. Folly was actually able to take out Well no problem, and was able to keep that point, but he actually did have a decap. That's when we had that triple decap there. It was a pretty nice play by Folly keeping that point.
And we did actually see, surprisingly enough, a bit of a flip around from the last game. Absolute Legends will manage to take the mid fight finally. So as we are going to see opening up the map now, it looks like Red Team is going to regroup and go for another push. I don't think they're going to be going for a side cap here. We are just seeing them sort of regroup and push into Graveyard again, doing a little bit of a wraparound there. But Blue Team is in position, as we see here. This is pretty normal for teams to do. They're going to let their Guardian stay out front and be the initial target, and as the fight progresses, they'll sort of allow themselves to come into the fight a little more. So Blue Team will have the superior position. Actually, Hemo looks like he's going to go around for a gank here.
Waterfall currently left unattended, as is Quarry. It looks like we do have a portal down here on Quarry, though. Coming back over here to Graveyard.
I think Hemo's actually going around for the Quarry again. Now, Hemo is if he does this successfully, this will be the 3rd time he's decapped this in just this match alone. So nice job to Hemo with those decaps.
Yeah, looks like
Knight
does have the portal. He actually makes it back onto the point just in time, preventing Hemo. So that's actually a lot of wasted time. Obviously, Knight did lose the portal. He actually does a ton of damage to Hemo. My goodness, I think he's actually going to get Hemo down and going to punish him for that play.
I think Hemo's going to make it out of there. He's trying to port in. I don't...
He's got to go down. Dude, make it happen. Oh, my goodness. He actually got the stealth up. He's going to go into Shadow Refuge, and he's probably going to be able to disengage there. Lily actually looks like he's going down here as at mid as well. He's going to try to disengage here and see if he can try to stay alive. Going to get back on point. Shan again is on point. He's playing Bunker Ellie, so he'll be able to hold that point for a pretty good amount of time while Lily is back here getting kind of healed up here. Hemo was actually able to disengage, no problem. He comes back over the point. He's going to try to get the decap here again. I think Knight's going to make it back on the point in time, and yeah, Hemo's going to have to disengage.
Not. He's going to get the decap off, and now it's going to waste about like 10 seconds of Knight's time getting that recap going. So nice job to Hemo again for the 4th, or actually that would have been the 3rd, with a 4th attempt at a decap, and he does it successfully again, which is only going to put Absolute Legends that much closer to the win.
It looks like we see Well popping Plague here on the midpoint. Looks like he's just trying to Plague on Lily right now. Not going to be doing a lot of stuff there because just obviously Lily doesn't do a lot of damage output here. Moving over to... Actually, Lily actually does get taken out pretty quickly here. SubQ is going to try to go in for the res. He actually does get it off before he's able to get the stomp from Chubbs. Very nice play by Ale getting that res off on Lily just in time.
So it looks like Blue Team is over here, back over to this middle fight. Blue Team is definitely on the defensive now. Red Team definitely has this higher health pools. They do have a lot of conditions on them, but it looks like, and again, I could be wrong here because Hiba's getting pretty low. Hiba is playing Death to the Fly now, by the way. Hiba, it does go down, and it looks like Blue Team's going to turn around again. Nice job, Blue Team.
Oh, they actually do get the res off. It looks like we saw the Signet of Undeath come out from Well getting the res up off on Heba. Heba's getting chunked down pretty hardcore right now. Looks like he's probably actually going to go down here just momentarily. He actually does get taken out by, looks like SubQtie did the knockback from his Greatsword 5, got him CC'd. Actually gets resed up again by the Illusion of Life. Heba's back in the fight one more time. If they...
Well, I mean... It makes sense because he is really I think he is actually their strongest damage right now. It makes sense to try and keep him up. They need him up. They want to do any damage to blue team, in my opinion. So, smart move keeping him up.
Looks like we actually see Hemo going for back point again. Knight does have his portal down. He actually makes it back in time, but Hemo again just tying him up, making sure that portal gets put on cooldown.
Oh, Death to Defy, getting really close to a red series, almost up, and they will get him up. It was a close to blue team trying to knock him back there. They almost they interrupt the res, but they didn't really get him up. Legend Shan is also down. He's in the corner, and they're going to take him out. Nice job recovery with those knockbacks and everything like that from the red team. Death to Defy is still alive. He's still in this. He's still breathing. Keep in mind, guys, now blue team, despite them only having 1 point, they are in range for a Lord Rush. Make sure we're paying attention to that today, guys. And
we'll try to avoid any mistakes here with that.
Keep your eyes on the map, but it looks now blue team is within range for a Lord Rush. They could try and sneak that in now. Hemo, if you wish to. I don't actually think Hemo could solo it, but they could try and sneak that in now. Keep your eyes on the gates. Keep your eyes on the Lord, guys. It could get crazy here.
Looks like Lily actually goes down here mid. Taking the Guardian out in a mid fight is going to be huge just because of the amount of support that he provides. So getting him down in that fight is going to be huge. Looks like we should see Yummy taking that midpoint. Looks like Sepcute actually got taken out here as well. He's over here against his wall. I guess he's just going to let himself bleed out. He does actually have well in eye shot, so he's going to be smart about it and not let himself get bled out, for additional time that he doesn't need to.
Now, red team, interesting choice here. They are going to assert dominance over Graveyard. I think they're actually going to cap it here. No, actually, Legend Shan jumping on point to sort of keep it decapped. He may not be able to survive that long, though. Let's see how long he can keep it. We do have another fight on Roughing a Waterfall. We'll go to that in just a second. But it actually seems like Absolute Legends, again, is going to be able to come in here and stalemate. The question is, though, can they save Waterfall? Let's go back over there for a second, because Folly is getting very low here. Nice job by Yiba, taking out what would have otherwise been a very tanky Folly. And they will decap that now, and no one will have any points.
Yeah, definitely a very good play by Folly there, keeping that point, or pardon me, by Heba getting that point neuted. Also for AL, though, we have Shan coming, who was able to get that point, keep it neuted as long as possible, and actually get Lily back on point, at which point Shan was able to disengage and get healed up a little bit more. Looks like we actually will see Lily go down right now. There he goes, which is unfortunate again, but again, keeping that neuted as long as possible was actually well worth the sacrifice there.
But a very unfortunate oversight by Knight there. He allowed Hemo to once again come into the quarry and decap that in favor of his team, which is going to keep Knight, who is, in my opinion, really crucial to team support and team CC here. You're going to keep him out of the fight because he now has to fall back and recap the quarry once again. And we are going to see Yummy take control over the middle point here. They're going to get I think they actually do need to push for the 3-cap at this point, or keep themselves within range for a Lord Rush. Actually, let's open up the map and see where both teams are going now. It seems blue team is grouping up once again to move back over to Graveyard. We're sort of seeing them group up on this ledge again, so let's see where they go.
It looks like we see Hemo. Looks like he's going to be running around trying to go back over here to Quarry one more time. Looks like Chubbs actually gets an eye on him, so Chubbs is going to try to get him out of there, make sure he doesn't go back and get the decap on Quarry. Going back over here to mid, looks like we have Morpheus taking a pretty good amount of damage here. He does have actually a lot of cooldowns down. He does have Tome of Courage up, though, still, so he's going to be able to get a full heal off on himself if he has the stability to come back up here.
And interestingly enough, he actually did swap out that Greatsword from last game. He's running Hammer now, so he's definitely gone for a little bit more defensive than last time. Makes sense, because the point's a lot bigger, so he may not be able to get his AoEs out as reliably as he could have on the last map. However, though, looking at the overall score...
Moa goes out on well, actually. He was trying to go in for the burst here. Actually, not able to land a lot of damage. He's actually in danger going down here himself right now. Actually, he's got a lot of Condies on him. He actually does drop from the Condi damage. If they can get a stomp on him, or at least some corpse damage, it's going to be huge for them. Lily actually goes in for the res. He looks like he's actually going to get him up no problem at all. Oh, man. Yummy Eggs are a really good opportunity there to kind of profit off of him going down, but unfortunately not able to pull through. Looks like Well goes down here as well, and that's going to be a full stomp from Lily.
Nice. All right, and it seems that blue team rather. Actually, no, because they. Oh, look, Lord Rush. We are going to see a Lord Rush come over here. Red team Knight has already engaged the Lord. Oh my goodness, this bug still exists. Can you see the Lord's health? Because I can't actually see it right now.
Ooh, Knight actually gets chunked out by the Lord pretty fast. We actually have Folly over on the other one trying to solo it as well, who's probably going to have a little bit better of an opportunity. Ooh, actually, Knight does get rezzed up here. If they can get this... Oh, this is coming down to the Lord play right now. This is basically Folly. This is Folly versus everyone. Folly is on Lord currently. Unfortunately, we can't see the health. I have no idea what's going to happen here.
I'm trying to spot it. Hold on. I'm looking for it. But again, another clean fight. Wait, here we go. He's about 50% health, 40% health. He's coming down to 30 now. Conditions are all over him. There's bleeds, confusions. Vulnerability's down about 20% health now. Red team is slowly getting lower. He's getting down. It's getting pretty low, 10%, and they're going to take it down, and Red team will turn
it around. Oh my God, we're going to
take that match.
Going to the third game.
Nice job by Team Booty Bakery with that turn.